Yeah, to introduce it, basically, it's the old bazooka shifter, reformed a bit at the front end, and we've got a servo motor hiding in here with connecting lead screw, and the electronics are all housed in this box here. Well, currently I'm on Croft circuit with a 5-speed Caterham car, and chosen this gear pattern. So we got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which forgive me, I normally drive on the left. So all these gears are there, but with 6 gear, and that is locked out. It will not go into 6th gear. That's 5th, 4th. There we go. Yeah, it will not go into 6 because the pattern says no. Now we can change this pattern if we wish. We could move reverse up there, and automatically that will then allow reverse, but won't let me come back to the reverse that was previous. There's plenty of in there, and we intend to add some more, but for this demonstration we'll stay with what we've got. So in neutral, probably hard to see on the video because we've turned the effect down, but here it's vibrating like a normal car. When you dip the clutch, select first, off we go. Drive as normal, but if I miss my clutch, say going up for 3rd gear now, as you can see, it won't go in till I dip the clutch. Same again with 4th, dip the clutch. Whilst we're in gear and we've got load on the powertrain, we still have to suss this a bit of tweaking, but if I put my thumb on there with a bit of pressure, I can't push it out easily, but as soon as I dip the clutch, it releases, so we've got a lock into gear as well. Future updates, once we get that bit finished, so again, once we've got that done, we will then have 2 modes. We'll have a synchromesh mode and a dog box mode, which will allow the clutchless shifting as in the real world. But for the moment, we need to get this one tweaked so it does work a bit more efficient than it does right now. Again, we're still in prototype, so. But basically, that's what we've got, and obviously you have the lock in, the lock out, you've got the gear grinding. You also can adjust the clutch bite point within the menu. So if I pull over here and stop, by pushing on here for a couple of seconds and releasing, we go into the menu. So then we can turn our effects up here. Incidentally, that first one, the rotation, right, if you've got your shifter mounted the opposite way on your rig, on this side, whatever, you can go in there, one quick, and then by turning that, it will rotate the screen. But for now, we're in there, so we go back to there. Now, the effects menu, so we select it, quick push, and then all these effects are here, grinding. These are maximum at the moment, or that one is. The retention's actually turned down, that'll be why. Yeah, we've got the engine revs, which is just a tactile vibration that you feel through the shifter relative to the engine revs. We've got the neutral revs, which has been turned down a lot. So if I turn that up, when I return to the game, you'll see the difference. So get that there, and press down and hold for a couple of seconds, release, same again, down for a couple of seconds, release, and as you can see, now it's really vibrating. So if I set that back again, off we go. I'll go for 3rd gear without a clutch. Now a clutch, and it's in. and the lock-in is actually now a bit stronger as I've turned that up. So I'll try and pulling it out of third gear at the moment. We're not too much pressure, but as soon as I put the clutch down, it'll go. Do the same again. All the time, you can feel the vibration of the engine revs through this, even while we're driving. What will happen is, if you've got configured, a lot of people like to have an ignition button and start the car themselves rather than having auto ignition and start. So to simulate that, because we haven't got anything buttons on here rigged up, basically you'd climb into your rig, you'd be sat like that. So let's, you turn the key to once or press the button for ignition, press the start button, and when the engine's cranking, it'll throw a bit. And then once it's running, that's what you get. But obviously, as I've turned this up full or a long way, you can set that to where you like it. So at least then you know your engine's running like you would in the real world. And off you go. Again. Clutch up, clutch down. No clutch. Clutch. Down to third. Back to second. Stop on the corner. And there we go. And that's pretty much it. Obviously there's a lot more in depth in the menus, but as we're still tweaking them, there's no point in me going through all that. There is a QR code to scan, which we will link to a website, a help page, messaging system, whatever for users. And it will change. As I say, we're still in prototype. We're still testing and tweaking, so the menu may change. Certainly with the addition of a synchromesh mode and a straight cut dog box mode, where you'll have your clutchless shifting. But also it will be a dwell, so if you don't quite get it right, you will get the gear grating. So sequential mode is in here. However, most people, including myself, are sort of saying, well, why would you have a sequential with active? It doesn't make sense. And I have to be honest, I agree with that, because you do not get the same feedback from a sequential shifter as you do with a H-band shifter in the real world. So we may introduce that, we may put it back in. I've disabled it at the moment. We may put it back in and tweak it just so it has got a sequential for those who don't want to buy two shifters, which makes sense, but there really isn't. We don't see, and most people, and certainly the professional drivers that have been at the show today, have said, well, you don't need a sequential in there. It takes away from what we're trying to do. So that's the reason why at this time we're not pushing for sequential. As I say, because there's no need for it. So, yeah, I will just watch this space. Just watch this space, and I'm sure this gentleman here holding this camera will be kept well in the loop. And as soon as we're available, he'll have one to play with.
So, and another thing I see here is if wife complain too much about that purchase, they can find a way to make it useful for themselves.
Yes, a bit
So,
of
yeah.
You could switch to a paddle shifter maybe.
Yeah.
The wife could
Yeah, and
sit
wife
next to you.
can play with it.
Yeah, wife can sit and play.
That's so
I
fucking
hope my
cool.
wife doesn't say that.
Well, boys,
That looks like a brilliant piece of engineering, and based on that presentation, it is indeed the first proper active shifter, so I can't wait to test this properly on the track. What exciting times for the manual shifting enthusiasts. You know how much I love those experiences. BDH, you are crazy, guys.